One should say.
Hi guys, how are you guys doing today? I want to show of hands how many people enjoy going to sports games in person, right? Can I get some examples of some of your favorite places to go? Basketball game, any particular team? Lakers. Anybody else? Tennis, where? SLU? Any more? Nothing much. Busch Stadium? Well, cool. Today I'm excited to introduce to you guys a FanPass protocol, a blockchain-based fan loyalty system that transforms how fans are recognized and rewarded. Whether you're cheering outside from the nosebleeds, your support will finally be verified, recorded, and rewarded. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to walk through the current problems in fan loyalty, how FanPass solves them, and the future it creates for fans, teams, and supporters. FanPass solves these problems using blockchain. With decentralized technology, we can reward real fan actions, being there, chanting, showing up. Your identity as a fan becomes something you truly own and can carry from sport to sport, team to team. We'll use geolocation NFTs and a token-based system to capture and validate every cheer, chant, and trip you make for your team. Most currently, loyalty programs only reward spending, like buying tickets or merchandise. They ignore real passion, like traveling to away games or supporting your team loudly and consistently. Plus, these systems are fragmented. Your loyalty to one team or league doesn't carry over to others, and fans don't actually own their loyalty rewards. It's all centralized.
All right, so some of the use cases for our FanPass protocol is that we're going to try and instill this into first, like the 5 kind of major sports leagues or teams, like the NCAA is obviously not a major league, but kind of those top 5 like sports leagues that people like to watch. And people will be able to collect the geotagged NFTs while they're at the games. So that kind of like rewards people for like traveling, going to the games, participating while they're there. And then there's also the fan coins, which is our token. And using these, it'll be a tethered coin. So you can then use this to like redeem them for rewards. So like jerseys, future tickets, similar to how the reward systems work now. But then you can use these across all the different leagues that use our protocol. So then, you know, if you go to a bunch of Busch Stadium games and watch the Cardinals play, but you're actually a Pirates fan, let's say, then you could use the coins, trade the NFTs that you get from participating and going to the Cardinals games to redeem it for Pirates merchandise, gear, that sort of thing. So this kind of like rewards fans for going to all team sporting events, not just their favorite teams. And it really like maximizes the fan participation because like whether your favorite team is playing there or not, it rewards people who just like the entertainment of going to games, and their participation is rewarded through these NFTs that they can collect and the fan coins. So I'm going to first talk about the target market of who we're trying to bring in as like our big customers or investors. And that's going to be, like I talked about, kind of the 5 big leagues in the US, MLB, MLS, NBA, NFL, NHL, and then also try to get into the NCAA as well. These leagues, they're all kind of fragmented right now. So they have their own reward systems. Sometimes within the league, it's like by individual team as well. And this just kind of prevents fans from being able to support all their teams at once and exchange like rewards that they win with one team across the next season with the next team. And so by using FanPass protocol, these leagues are going to be able to combine their reward system and kind of just like grow all sports and all sporting events in one place and not have this fragmented environment. Jeff, we hit a slide. So then our target market for who's actually going to be using this protocol on a day-to-day or game-to-game, sporting event to sporting event basis are the actual fans. The whole point of this protocol is that it's going to reward you for participating, and it's going to give you like this reward in a meaningful way because whether your favorite team is there or not, and if it is your favorite team, then you know you're not having to only buy concessions or merchandise anymore to get rewarded. You're going to get rewarded for your participation as well, and show that like you're a true fan of the team that you're there to watch. So the FanPass protocol, it's going to reward those fans for their participation, fandom and their love of sports and sporting events. So the current competitive landscape, this is kind of like I talked about with the fragmented system and environment that we see right now. A lot of these teams have their own apps, their own reward systems. Also, some leagues have their own. So like St. Louis City, for example, here in St. Louis, they have their app and you can order food at the game on it and be rewarded for it. You can use rewards in the team shop for buying merchandise, buying tickets, buying food, all this stuff. But what it doesn't allow you to do is use those rewards at the Busch Stadium for a Cardinals game. Or for example, my favorite team, the Celtics, I can't go and support a St. Louis City team and then use the rewards there for a team that is my own favorite or something that I'm passionate about. And so what makes us different is that we're going to be able to gain these rewards by showing up and participating in any sporting event, and then redeem these across accounts for multiple teams or multiple leagues. So every game that you go to will allow you to use the FanPass protocol. Our goal is we have the fan coins, but then also the geotagged NFTs, so you can collect those of games that you're at. And so unlike your typical reward programs, which only allows you to get rewards from shopping at that stadium or at that team, this allows you to diversify your rewards. So these are a couple examples like I talked about. You go to a Blues game and you save up your fan tokens from participating there, but you're actually a bigger fan of the Cardinals, and so you can buy a Cardinals jersey for a reward. And then talking about the fan tokens and kind of how they like tethering effect of that works is like, if you have 20 fan tokens and a jersey is normally $100, and like that's like directly buying that, then obviously each fan token is worth about $5. So that's kind of the value potential of having the token in addition to the geotagged NFTs.
Okay, well, I guess the key components is proof of attendance. So you gotta, basically for you to get the NFT, you would have to be there, or for you to get like tagged. And then fan engagement tokens. So that's basically, we were talking about the fan identity passport. So like we had kind of talked about, it kind of tracks where you've been, what games you've been to. And then team and league DAOs, so community-led decisions.
All right, so what are our next steps for FanPass? The first step that we think we need to do is acquiring these customers. We think reaching out to current owners, potentially reaching out to different venture capital people that fund blockchain protocols, or even current reward apps, like those individual fragmented apps, whoever supported those. Reaching out to those venture capital firms for backing in ours, because it's a very similar process. Similar firms to work with as they already have. And so while kind of getting that backing and trying to acquire some of our customers, obviously just heavily focusing on the protocol itself and building that, coding it out so that our fan coins and the NFTs are able to hold value and everything, like the proof network and everything is working correctly. And then the last step, something that we think could be really helpful for the teams and kind of as a marketing point, is to start creating some geotagged NFTs, or at least like some pre-made templates for these. That way teams can kind of implement these right away, and they have the opportunity to use the pre-made templates, and it's not a whole new marketing department, a whole new technology department that they have to use to do this. They can kind of automatically implement some of our already pre-made items. And then looking at the revenue build and kind of long-term sustainability of our protocol, the main way that FanPass is going to make money is through these league partnerships. So right now, for example, each NFL team brings in about $581 million a year. And this is primarily because of fans spending money on tickets and at the game. So we want to reward fans for this spending and for their participation at each sporting event that they go to. And we think that, you know, they're going to be willing to pay for the marketing and for this technology because it's going to drive up even more fan engagement. So these will be obtained in step one of our process that we talked about, kind of pitching this idea to different companies and primarily to VCs who have previously helped with reward type apps, or currently support cryptocurrencies or protocols previously. And we think that by obtaining these league partnerships for a fee, these premiums can kind of like keep our protocol up and running, allow us to continue to develop it, because these are obviously going to be large licensing fees for such large leagues. So, and then in addition to this, we'll obviously also hold some of our own tokens. We think that if the owners, kind of the people who start the protocol are owning these shows that we actually value the system that we're in. We're all sports fans here. And so, you know, I think that we see the potential in our own protocol and the value that would come with being able to redeem these tokens across multiple teams or platforms. And so by holding these tokens, we'll kind of get that value and show our customers the value that we believe in. And yeah.
So there are some regulations and risks to mention for FanPass protocol. First, our NFT token classification. FanPass is a proof of attendance token, so it's classified as a collectible. It's not a financial asset, so it can't be doesn't face any form of like SEC regulations. With regard to consumer protection, FanPass needs clear terms of service and disclosures, meaning that there's going to need to be clear representation of attendance. It's not like a financial gadget. The fan token is a rewards point system essentially, and it has that clearly defined utility, and it has to stay within the parameters of that utility. Also, in regards to like anti-money laundering and your customer considerations, we have to have some considerations there. If protocol allows for peer-to-peer or NFT sales, token trading or token trading, there may be some compliance issues for us, but FanPass at the end of the day is just a simple fan attendance NFT. So we should be able to avoid these. In regard to data privacy, obviously this is a big issue with like the location grabbing and geotagging that we're going to be doing. That information is pretty personal and private. So making sure that we keep within regulations is important. And also the fans have to have the option to opt in to this and have the ability to also delete and remain anonymous with their data. But once we get the data on the chain, it is immutable, so we have to find ways around that. In regard to IP and branding, obviously stadium names, team logos, and large league brandings are going to be associated and tied to the NFT. So we're going to need to have large licensing agreements and make sure that our IP rights have clearance in order to avoid any form of trademark infringement. Finally, gambling and sweepstakes. Tokens were, say, be given out by like chance or by luck. We would fall under that category, but it's not. It's like skill based. You show up and show out, you'll be fine, and you'll get rewarded for it. Next, with the coding, we're going to talk about the coding for the FanPass protocol. This is a smart contract FanPass NFT. This code powers the proof of attendance system for our protocol, allows teams and event organizers to mint NFTs for fans in attendance. So the FanPass NFT contract is based on the ERC 271 standard, which is standard for unique digital collectibles. In regards to minting attendance NFTs, when a fan attends an event, the organizer, and in this case, our code reads like the owner, is able to mint the NFT for each fan, and it represents like a different event for each NFT that is created. The contract also has attendance record attached to each NFT. So not only is it a collectible, but it's also verifiable proof that everyone was actually physically in attendance. And then the code also allows for the team or league to mint the specific NFTs that not only are adding security and making sure that attendance is legitimate. So overall, our code is what allows FanPass NFT to record and reward sports fandom through the blockchain with personalized minting, tamper-proof attendance, and location and team loyalty.
Yeah, so for FanPass to actually work, we do need key resources and partners for our resources, just keeping it plain and simple. This all relies on code, as AJ was talking about with our smart contracts. And just to give you guys an idea, like this code could be broken down in like 5 key factors for us. The first one being foundation of verification. So the code is what verifies attendance, it's what mints the NFTs, It's what distributes the fan tokens, and it's what secures a fan identity. Without code, we have no trust, and FanPass won't work. Then we have scalability. The hope is that this will simultaneously be handling millions of live interactions, and you need well-written smart contracts and code for that to work. So scalability. Then moving on to ownership. At the end of the day, FanPass protocol is fans owning their loyalty, and you need blockchain and you need code for that to work. And then we have security. If we have bad security and fans are able to spoof their attendances or sneak in like sneak fan tokens or somehow ruin the system we have, FanPass protocol might as well not exist because it's destroyed at that point. And then finally, platform differentiation. Our advantage is execution with custom high-performing contracts, and that's what allows us to work. And then moving on to our key partners. So we have starting with sports fans. Without sports fans, we don't have FanPass. They're the reason that FanPass would work, as they create value by attending games and showing loyalty. Sports organizations, they're our gateway. Once we achieve a partnership with a sports organization, we can then start offering games, offering the brand rewards that fans actually want. But they're the reason that we can scale with sports organizations. And finally, with venues and ticketing platforms, they provide the infrastructure we need to verify the real fan behavior, because when we need to verify attendance, venues and ticketing platforms will help. And a good way to think about the partners is with FanPass protocol, they work as you can just think of a simple shape like a triangle. Sports fans trust sport organizations, organizations trust venues and ticketing platforms, and they provide our infrastructure, and together that provides an ecosystem that FanPass protocol will run on. And then this is just a realistic, or it's just an idea, because like at the end of the day, we need money for this to work. So this is just a rough idea for a funding roadmap. So year one, it's just seed funding. We start with small pilot programs to gain interest and receive funding from strategic grants or angel investors. Then year two is when we actually pursue our first venture backing, and that funding is what allows us to get our foot in the door with organizations, stadiums, and actually start getting to where we want. And then year three is Series A funding, so that's all about scaling. So that's when we'll start just partnering with more leagues, get our name out there more, and once fans start knowing us, and then the value just keeps building up on top of themselves. And then year four, Series B. Series B we primarily use to get into like the international market, because we talked about mainly like popular US sports, but if we go to somewhere like Ireland, rugby is extremely popular, and there's going to be a ton of loyal fans there. So then we'll start tapping into other sport markets that have just as loyal or even more loyal fans. And then finally, year five is kind of optional, because at that time, we're hoping to kind of be a global sports name. So then we could either focus on growth or acquisition and just kind of continually building. And then in conclusion, the future of sports is FanPass, and it's here. We are revolutionizing what it means to be a fan. We're turning every chant, every mile traveled into verifiable loyalty, in the hopes that we basically change fandom into a new world where passion is not just felt, but it's rewarded, and it's rewarded through FanPass. Thank you.